Hello, friends. This is Scott Monty. Stand by for commentary.
Welcome to the Full Monty, where you'll be exposed to commentary and analysis from the week's digital news. You give us 15 minutes, and we'll save you hours. And now, here's your host, Scott Monty.
Hi, and welcome to the Full Monty, an audio companion to the newsletter of the same name. Each week I pick a couple of the more pressing issues and inject insight, opinion, and wit into this 15-minute show that's sure to give you a better sense as to what's affecting the industry. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't, but I hope it makes you think. This week, the role of live video in censorship and how augmented reality gets a mainstream boost. We recently saw technology take a front seat in the course of current events. Baton Rouge, Minnesota, Dallas, we were given a front row seat to violence involving police. To be sure, video was the main connection, in particular, live video. Facebook has made no secret that it wishes video to be the most dominant form of media on their platform. Nicola Mendelsohn, Facebook's head of operations in Europe and Middle East and Africa, recently said that in 5 years, quote, it will probably be all video, unquote. So when events hit our timelines, like the live video of the aftermath of Philando Castile's shooting, or the Dallas police standoff with a sniper, they're there because Facebook tweaks the algorithm to ensure that video gets prominence. But what of other world-impacting events that aren't being captured in video? The food crisis in Venezuela, environmental conditions in cities in China, or economic chaos in Europe following Brexit. In essence, Facebook is prioritizing the type of media over the importance of the news. Not to mention that it's allowing unfiltered graphic footage to be shared with minors, as Facebook is available to anyone age 13 or older. Mark Zuckerberg is sticking with his vision to use Facebook to make the world a more open and connected place, and I applaud a CEO who's so loyal to his conviction. But is he doing it in a way in which the end justifies the means? Is there a risk that we'll become hardened to what are now considered such shocking images? Speaking of being hardened against reality, the Dallas police used a bomb robot to subdue the sniper that killed 5 of their own. Police have always used deadly force when necessary, but in the past, they've employed snipers or SWAT teams for such exercises. It's certainly an advance of technology, but the use of an inhuman remote control entity is one more step away from humanity, even in unimaginable circumstances like those in Dallas.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
And what of censorship? Facebook says that its community standards support a policy in which no judgment will be made against violent videos. The exception, of course, is those that celebrate and support violence. But in the meantime, we leave it in Facebook's hands to determine just what that is. The rest of the media, news, entertainment, television, movies, radio, all of these have to abide by certain standards of appropriateness or ratings. Yet Facebook gets a pass? Social change is never easy. In fact, it's usually messy. Facebook has a role to play, and it's up to them to determine the balance between agitator, conspirator, censor, and intermediary. It's a delicate balance, and it's one that'll take time for them and us to figure out. This is a time of immense advances in human history. We're on the brink of some of the most extraordinary changes in how we shop, and live, and communicate. We have the ability to craft an improved future for the next generation. Let's make sure we leave them with more humanity, not less.
Get your trivia skills ready for the naked truth.
And now, this week's Naked Truth Trivia question. Speaking of bots, Domino's, which recently debuted a robot delivery service in Australia, made an advance on its app. What can you now do with the Domino's app? And now, page 2. The world recently went crazy over the latest app from Niantic Labs. Of course, you know this is Pokemon Go. The game uses augmented reality, your phone's camera, and GPS to allow players to capture Pokemon in real life. It requires players to actually get up and walk around. The latest statistics show that Pokemon Go is the most popular app in the App Store and Google Play in the United States and is sweeping the globe. In fact, the number of daily active users of Pokemon has surpassed that of Twitter. Well, what's at play here? Why the craze, and what does it mean? First, the game's a major step in helping people to understand augmented reality, the red-headed stepchild to virtual reality. Augmented reality will be a stepping stone to understanding and adopting virtual reality, so this is an important first step. And the mass adoption of Pokemon Go is the crawling that eventually precedes the walking. At the same time, it's a technologically advanced version of geocaching, which plenty of people already enjoy. So this is merely upping the game, so to speak. And third, it's a throwback to the origins of the original Pokemon game, a game which was played with cards and enjoyed by legions of this generation. And as we know, businesses stand to benefit as well. We've seen Pokemon gyms and Pokestops that can be located just about anywhere. But if your business is lucky enough to have one nearby, you can make the most of it. Try downloading the app to see if you are near one. And then make your business friendly to gamers that might happen by. You can create special offers just for players or even reserve seating for them. Think of this as Foursquare or even Wi-Fi. If you understand why it's important to your customers, they'll love you for it. Some thoughts on other potential business opportunities for Pokemon. 1. If, as we previously stated, businesses begin to get into the act, and we've seen them start to do that, Pokemon could stand to have an additional revenue stream by opening itself up to brands. That is, if your business doesn't have a Pokestop, the company could sell you one, including the marketing support that accompanies it. Given this possibility, they could transform from simply a gaming company to a platform. Of course, they don't need the marketing revenue, or as David Berkowitz put it, Pokemon doesn't need marketing, but marketing needs Pokemon. Well, as of this recording, we're aware that Pokemon is considering what it's calling sponsored locations for the game, and that McDonald's was one of the first sponsors in Japan. And some enterprising Redditors have discovered some code that indicates that McDonald's may run a huge promotion where their locations are turned into gyms. We'll see whether or not the old phrase, "let's ruin something with advertising," will prove itself true for yet another platform. Number 2, given the amount of physical activity that Pokemon seems to be inspiring, they could get into the health tracking business. An integration with Apple Watch or Fitbit is a quick strategy they could undertake, or they could even develop health monitoring capabilities themselves to the Pokemon wearable wristband that uses GPS to guide your efforts. Either way, there's great potential here for Pokemon to be more than just an augmented reality game. While many people have rushed headlong into the app, we've also heard naysayers, of course, bringing up the cautionary tales. Cautionary tales like 4 muggers placing Pokemon beacons in the park to lure players, and of individuals injuring themselves while playing, despite the stern warning on the game's opening screen. A screen that includes an individual about to step off a bridge into a dragon's mouth. Very realistic. But, you know what? There have also been stories of people who've seen lonely or otherwise isolated individuals finding friends. The army base inside an isolated region where up to 50 residents have been gathering in a park. An awkward teen who is approached by other teens to join them. The game brings people together in real life. What people subsequently do in real life is related to the app, but it's likely that the positive of humanity will shine through even outside the app. Well, we asked you what you can do with the Domino's app now. And for all of you non-Pokemon playing couch potatoes, good news! Domino's eliminated the laborious one-click ordering of its app in favor of a 0-click ordering service. Check that out and let us know what kind of pizza you order. You might also want to check out other major stories from the July 11th edition of our newsletter. Pew Research's report on the modern news consumer is a report not to be missed. And of course, NPR has been using Facebook Live for 2 months. See what the audio giant has learned from its foray into live video. And Seth Godin has an important piece on jobs, the economy, and how the current education system really isn't structured to support what we've built. Well, that's it for this week. With any luck, your brain's a bit bigger now. Thank you for making me a part of your week and for being exposed to the full Monty. Until next time, I'm Scott Monty, and I'll see you on the Internet.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the Full Monty newsletter and this program at FullMontyShow.com.
So I'm still 2 minutes short. What are you going to do?